Well, basically we had a couple of third readings. One was an ordinance, or basically it was just to enlarge the joint county business park, basically. It was for a company out of Greenville, TS Brass, and we have a reciprocal relationship with them for the multi-county park agreement. So it's basically a Greenville company, but Anderson County does get to participate in a percentage of tax revenue that's generated. Okay. The second one for third reading was Project Augustus, and it was a partnership with the Economic Development Group, which worked in bringing in some spec warehouse space, approximately 200,000 square foot. It's going to be up at exit 32. The property that they're building on currently pays $60.04 in property tax. Projected taxes the first year was $28,000 and some change. 20-year project over almost $3 million. This will hopefully help develop on I-85 with some spec warehouse space that the county does not have to invest or build, and it will help create some jobs in the northern part of the county when it comes to fruition. The third reading was a project called Project Smoky Rocky Ortec. I'm excited about Project Ortec. It's in District 4 in the Pendleton area. It's actually on an old brownfield site, but they have, it's actually two projects, Project Codenames. They invested $20 million in each project. It's an expansion that's going to create a $40 million expansion that's going to create 105 jobs with an average salary of $21.45, a $4.5 million payroll. They actually annexed into the town of Pendleton because of sewer issues up there. And the projected tax revenue over a 20-year period is close to $6 million. So we got $40 million investment, $6 million in tax revenue, and 105 jobs being created. And this is their second phase of growth, so I'm looking for good things out of them. I'm excited to have them in District 4. And we had another one on third reading, and basically it was Project Swan, and it's in the Williamson area, and it was a capital investment of $4.195 million. They're going to create 100 jobs with an average payroll of $16.23 per hour. Their taxes in 2018 on that property was $19,000 and some change, and the 2020 is going to $41,700, and over a 20-year community impact, we're looking at a $35.9 million impact for the community, and that's another good project for that area that is needing jobs. We had a solar project as well on there. It doesn't create any jobs, but it's going to take some agricultural property that was generating $104 a year in property taxes, and it's going to be generating almost $12,600 per year on a 20-year project, $160,000. So that was a good project as well. We had another deal that came up tonight. It's not really unusual, but a project that was done back in 1999 with the old fee in lieu of taxes, where the county actually is on the deeds for their properties. We just switched it over to a new agreement to where the county would not be on their property or show ownership, and it makes it a little easier for a company to borrow money and easier to explain. Another ordinance on second reading was an ordinance to amend or clarify storage of commercial equipment in residential zoned areas. It went through public planning and public works, and it was just to allow the county to have some teeth in enforcing certain things like skid steers, equipment, no commercial operation in a zoned residential area, and if it's out of sight, it doesn't really apply, but I'm not going to get into all the details and list every little thing that was there, but I know there's been some complaints in different areas about certain things of that nature, so that should help address that. The other thing, we discussed a lease agreement between Anderson County and TriCounty Tech, which was TriCounty Tech has had property leased out at the airport, and it is an area of property that's not under FAA regulation. It's on the back side, and we partner with TriCounty Tech, and they do some heavy equipment training and operations out there, and they also help to train some of our employees and do some small grading jobs and stuff for us as well. So I think that was a good trade-off. Also, we're in negotiations or negotiating and working a lease with TriCounty Tech on some space out at the old TTI or Ryobi or the old Singer plant, which a lot of people remember, to do an asphalt plant out there. That really didn't come up in the meeting tonight. I know there were some concerns that we're entered an agreement with TriCounty Tech to allow them to use some space on the back side of that property to put up 4 poles to do lineman training, which is exciting to have it done here in Anderson County, and hopefully some of the people around this area can get trained up and get a good paying job as well. As far as first reading, we had which was in my district. There is approximately 60 acres off of Garrison Road, and it was broken down into 3 different areas. It was currently zoned R20, which means 1 house per 20,000 square feet, and they wanted to switch it back to residential agriculture. So I think the people in the area, I got a lot of phone calls seeing the zoning signs, worried about a big housing development coming in there, but it's actually going back to a residential agriculture, and I think there is some good plans and use of that property that's going to be coming out in the future. We also had tonight a report from the Finance Committee, which I'm on. We had negotiated a new waste hauling agreement that actually is going to end up saving the county over approximately $8,000 a year in disposing of our 30 and 40 yard bins for the Sheriff's Department and convenience centers. There was also an agreement with our fleet services. We do some outside work, not really outside, but for other municipalities, other police departments, and Mr. Stone, that's over that department, had actually come up with a plan to have everything spelled out, you know, cost of labor, materials, parts, supplies, and I think that'll work out good. Still allow us to continue to help the municipalities, but also allow us to cover our costs as well. There was, as you know, there was a hiring freeze, and everything would have to go before the administrator and then come before council, and there was a couple of positions that was filled, and it's positions that we need to act on. I mean, we have qualified people coming in, heavy equipment operators, things of that nature that are CDL drivers. So we acted and got those positions filled, and I think that's going to be exciting. Our Public Safety Committee brought some information forward, which I actually sat in on this meeting, and I'll combine most of it. It was all of it was grant stuff from Homeland Security and other sources, a JAG grant, and what it was going to do, there's about 4 or 5 things. It's going to get the Sheriff's Department a drone for emergency services, help FLIR, help them to find things or a missing person at night. So that's going to be exciting for them. Also, they had a bomb squad, stuff for the bomb squad, new robot training, new equipment, new safety gear that was covered under a bond, and I mean a grant, and it actually is going to replace some old outdated equipment and increase the safety of our constituents and the Sheriff's Department as well. They're also got grant about $180,000 all total, but they're going to be doing body cameras for our officers. I'd love to see every officer have a body camera, not only to protect the officer, but protect our citizens as well. There was some issues, not really issues, but they're working on now to determine the best storage for the data from the cameras, a cloud-based system versus different operating systems, and they are working on that, so that'll be coming up pretty soon. And then we went into executive session, and it was basically just to cover some things on some changes on insurance that would better suit our employees and better protect and cover them. So that was basically what happened in executive session. No vote or decisions, anything were made. It was more of an information. And then we went into council comments, and I'd like to thank Ms. Floyd and Ms. Wilson. They brought up some good points in there about reaching, and Councilman Davis, Chairman Dunn as well, brought up some good points about moving forward with the county, sharing our not really expertise, but I guess it is expertise, but helping us to clear up some misconceptions about the road fee and the gas tax money. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a big misunderstanding on monies that people presume come to the county that we don't get. I think they all spoke highly. We also was brought up about a possible penny sales tax to help go toward roads. And I think everyone on council is unanimous about getting back out, staying involved in the public, having the town halls, educating people, getting feedback from people. And one common thing is everyone knows our roads are in terrible shape.
So everybody agrees we've got to fix our roads.
We've got to do something, and from a business perspective, if you look at the way our roads are classified, the gas tax, not the gas tax, but the road fee alone, I mean, it's, I hear, it's not going to be anywhere near enough. But if we could possibly work out some combination of a road fee until we can get a gas, or not a penny sales tax incorporated, if we can save 66 miles of road with that road fee from dropping it down one category, it will save the taxpayers over $7 million. And it's a problem that it's growing exponentially, and whether anything gets done while I'm on council or this term, it's a problem that we are going to have to deal with sooner or later, and the longer we wait, the more it's going to cost down the road, or our kids, our grandkids. Sooner or later, we're going to have to pay the piper, and that is.
And while nobody's voted on anything, and there's no proposals to vote on anything, the penny sales tax would generate enough to take care of our roads.
Take care of all our roads.
Completely, 100%.
Completely.
And at least 35% of that would be paid for from out of county.
Out of state people traveling, coming in, football game traffic. Like I think Miss Floyd mentioned, people coming up from Georgia on the weekends to eat supper and go out. For me, it's hard to swallow any tax or fee, but the thing is, without it, we're going to pay dearly down the road. Someone's going to end up having to pay for this, and I think we need to work on possibility of getting that on a referendum to allow the people to vote. The people, it's their vote, but you need to have an educated vote, a good understanding of what's going on. I think it's up to myself and our other council members and with constituents around it that to share the proper information, to get it out there and let people know and understand what's actually happening. And I think we'll get things worked out. And I mean, I love Anderson County. I mean, it's a great place, and it's only going to get better. But we've got to all work together.
And if any citizens have any questions about this, all of the council members, their phone numbers, their emails are all
Phone
online,
numbers,
and they're asking
emails.
people to call. And they don't even have to go to a meeting. They can have it explained to them right there on the
Right,
phone or
right.
an email.
And there's excellent handout that Ms. Davis has done. Call, get one mail to you, and then call your council person. Say, hey, I'm going over this. Help explain what's going on here. I call my representatives, and I think the constituents need to as well.
And y'all are here every other Tuesday?
Every other Tuesday.
And they're welcome to come to meetings and talk to you here.
Exactly.